In Greece, in the city of Nafplio, the warmth of spring is in the air and crowds of people are out enjoying the weather and preparing for the big Easter holiday. Here, Easter is celebrated with a distinct style. For Greek Orthodox Christians, it's the most celebrated holiday of the year. Because Eastern Orthodox Christians use a different calendar than Western Christians, Orthodox Easter usually falls on a different Sunday. The Greek Orthodox ritual may feel exotic and mystical to many Western eyes and ears, but the storyline is the same, with a few mesmerizing twists. While worshiping, Orthodox Christians believe standing empowers prayers, and incense helps involve all the senses. The priest typically has a long beard, a sign of wisdom, experience, and respect. He periodically retreats behind an icon-covered wall called an iconostasis. Then, to involve all gathered, he circulates among the faithful. In the Greek Orthodox tradition, the events of Good Friday start the night before. For hours, people gather, eventually packing the church. As candles flicker, all generations chant and pray together, awaiting each step of the Easter story as it unfolds. The cantors blend music and prayer to heighten the atmosphere of reverence. Eventually, the priest brings the crucified Christ out from behind the iconostasis. After being carried around the church, Jesus is lovingly decked in flowers. The passionate congregation then crowds around to kiss the feet of Jesus. The ritual of mourning continues through the night. Around midnight, as Good Friday arrives, women decorate what's called the epitaph, or symbolic tomb of Jesus, while the choir chants. Well into the wee hours, it's a family affair filled with tenderness, as flowers create a fragile and beautiful monument to their loss and love. After dawn, a Good Friday service is held. Christ is removed from the cross. His body is then carried behind the iconostasis. Eventually, the priest reemerges, carrying a shroud representing the crucified Christ. He reverently leads it through the congregation of mourners. Eventually, the shroud is laid out flat in the ceremonial coffin and blessed with flower petals. As in any funeral, loved ones pay their last respects, here either with a kiss or, if you're small enough, a trip beneath the epitaph. Once again, the Orthodox mysticism, enhanced by music, incense, and intensely felt prayer, heightens the emotional impact. On Good Friday evening, the funeral procession starts as the epitaph is carried out of the church. Even as a visitor, I felt as one with those gathered, sharing a familiar holiday, but in a new way. Churches from 3 neighborhoods all perform the same ritual funeral procession as they carry their individual epitaphs through town. The 3 parades converge on the main square, and the epitaphs gather on a stage, with the bishop overlooking what seems like the entire population of Nafplio. The bishop, flanked by the town's priests, gives an Easter message, reminding his flock why Jesus died and why there's reason for hope. Holy Saturday is the day Christ's body laid in the tomb while his followers mourned. In Western Christian traditions, it's a time of thoughtfulness and waiting, of vigils. But in the Orthodox Christian world, like here in Greece, Holy Saturday is a celebration of what Jesus' soul accomplished on that day. On Saturday morning, the Greeks pack their church yet again to remember how, while his disciples were mourning on earth, Jesus descended into Hades, bringing salvation to the souls of the dead. That's why Greeks call this Saturday the first resurrection. Worshippers venerate an icon of Jesus pulling Adam and Eve out of the fires of hell. This is the pivotal moment when Christ has defeated the devil and death. The priest has changed out of his mournful black vestments and into hopeful white ones. Much happier and more animated now, he tosses dried flower petals representing the broken chains of hell over all gathered. Late Saturday night, the people spill from their churches and fill the main square yet again, this time with a palpable sense of expectation. It's almost midnight, and Easter Sunday is just a couple minutes away. Here in Greece, people can hardly wait to celebrate the resurrection. On this day, Christians everywhere fill the churches and the squares, and they declare with great joy, Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. When midnight strikes, fireworks light up the sky, and finally, Easter Sunday is here. The Holy Flame, which literally travels from Jerusalem to Athens and then to towns throughout Greece, is shared along with the ritual Easter kiss of love. And it's not over yet. Everyone then heads home for the biggest party of the season. People carry the Easter flame home as a burning candle. Raising it above their heads, they make a cross above the doorway, symbolizing that the light of the resurrection has blessed their home for another year. A long table awaits as the extended family gathers. They have a competition to find out whose Easter egg will be the strongest. Sighs of disappointment from losers are mixed with the laughter of winners until the proud victor, who will enjoy a particularly blessed upcoming year, is declared. Traditional holiday dishes, like a thick lamb entrail soup, are devoured. It's a joyous family gathering. The feast continues into the wee hours of Easter Sunday with lots of meat and eggs and no shortage of Easter bread.